In the last 8 years, I've been actively trading in the markets. I believe that I've placed more than 100,000 trades in the markets. In today's video, I actually want us to look at some of the ways that I actually plan for the week, how I execute some of the trades that I plan for them, and most importantly, how I go about managing it. And I'll share with you guys some of the lessons that are going to help you be able to have a profitable week for yourself. But the most important thing that I want you to do now is I do not want you to be using this information as advice or personal finance or all those things, but instead this is just me showing you how I go about doing things in my own journey, just so you are able to basically just learn from some of the mistakes, some of the lessons that I went through, and then maybe shorten your experience or shorten the time frame that it will cost you in order of you to be able to go through a lot. But guys, for now, what we have going on here is I've got the dollar index right here in front of me. Secondly, I want us to look at the two instruments that I'm going to be trading, and I'll be telling you guys why exactly I've chosen to be trading some of those instruments. So let us just do this, and let's do this big. Obviously, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure that you do hit that subscribe, and as well comment below. I want to know what most of you guys are looking at, and let us do this big. So one of the first things that I'm now seeing here is the dollar index, and from the previous week, we've already seen this massive jump. Price closed here, price opened somewhere here, and then you can see it went up. It retested here, on which, even if I may just do something more like this, you can see the retest, which basically more like filled the gap, because it created like a gap, and then more like filled this gap here, and then boom, it basically just started going down, and then lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower on. So one thing that I believe is, as most of you guys that have been following me, if you know the 90% rule, we're looking at price coming all the way down to here, which is the dollar index. So for now, we'll just continue seeing price go down, lower low, lower high, and so on. But let us now go a bit more deeper. Let me just even go to the 1 hour time frame, just so you are able to see a bit more clearer on how possibly price can move down. So with this, what I see, this is where price jump down, just like this. Yes, so you can easily just see that price now, as soon as it got here, now second touch, it went down, came a bit more up close to the third touches, but it respected this previous resistant support here, now resistant, and then it went all the way down. So we see in price continue doing the same thing, coming a bit more up somewhere here, and then continue going downwards, all the way up until we reach here. So that's some of the things that we are seeing happen with the dollar index. So how does it help us? This helps us be able to spot how we can capitalize as well on the dollar on its own, meaning that if we know price is going to be going downwards on the dollar index, that means that when it comes to things like GBP USD, Euro USD, gold, and so on, we would know how we can move forward with it, because they have the dollar in them, and this is just the dollar on its own. So I'm just going quick to US30, the US30 markets, and then boom, I just want us to take a look at what exactly am I seeing on this. So you can simply see just by removing all these lines right here, just so we don't complicate things, and right here. Okay, I'll just leave the two that are currently active right now. Let me just remove this. Boom. So one thing that I'm doing right now is I'm analyzing all of this in front of you, meaning that however my chart was, if it was messy at first, I'm clearing it out, I'm cleaning it, and as well I'm going to be working on it. I'm going to be analyzing it, just so you have a clearer view and a better view of how you basically clean your charts and you rework on them. So that's just that was for the previous weeks, but for now I can easily see the price is still in an upward movement, because higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then higher high right here. So we see price went a bit more down here, but if you just take a look at this area that we're currently in now, this area, you can simply see that here price was the resistant, now it became support, and if you just go all the way up, you'll just see here was resistant, and so on. So now you can see that this area is an area of significance, meaning that there's a higher chance that from here price is going to continue shooting all the way upwards up until this resistance, firstly breaking this first resistance right here, and then going all the way up. If it does break it, obviously it's a confirmation, then it will continue going upwards. But one thing that I like here is already you can even see, if I may just adjust my line maybe to the most recent, you can easily just see that right here with this higher low and this higher low, it's more like a third touch that came through here, even though it's not the cleanest. But what I'll be doing now is I'll just be going to the 60-minute, just so I'm able to spot exactly what we can make with this. So we can see on the 50-minute, on the 60-minute, price went down here, price went up right here, and then price tried to go down, which is this move here, and now price went up just like this. So why am I showing you this? I want you to be able to understand and see what actually happened. Price went down, it went up here, it went down, and then it broke here, which is the previous lower high. It broke it, and then now it means that it's a change of character. Now price is basically gonna start doing what? Higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows and high up until. So that's just how we find our entries. So now we've spotted that price has changed character. It's now going back upwards because it came from shooting all the way downwards. So what we're about to do now is we're going to go all the way to the 15 minutes, because on the 15 minutes it gives us a clearer view of actually what's going on. But me, normally I enter on the 5-minute. I'll show you guys how I'd go about entering this trade. But on the 15-minute, we can already see that price basically gave us almost, I wouldn't say it's a clean one, but almost like, like a left shoulder right here, and then head right here, and then boom, and then right shoulder more like here. So it's not clean, but you can see it's more like a reversal type of a pattern that presented here. And I believe that on the 5-minute, that's where we're going to see it more clearer. But for me, let's say on the 15-minute, what I'm more likely to see is right here is where our previous resistance is. Right here, we can see price clearly couldn't break here at first, but now it broke above impulsively. Look at how this candlestick closed, and then it came back to retest. So there's a high chance that price is gonna move. But for me, I normally know that Mondays are a bit more rough. I wouldn't wanna rush into being in this trade, because I feel like entering here would be more like a riskier type of a trade for me, in terms of the data that I've got from my backtesting history. I understand that maybe on Monday might not be the perfect day, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when I can execute if I even see positions like this. But it does not mean that this position might not move in the direction. The only thing that I'm more likely to do is once I'm on the 5-minute, you can see it's super clean, broke above, came back to retest. So one thing that I've noticed is that right here is where our lowest price was before price started shooting upwards. So I would love for price to, maybe for now, yes, it can go up. If you're looking to take profit, you can make those profits. Let's say, for instance, if you're looking into taking a trade like this. But because I'm looking for that bigger trade, this is still a good trade, 2.7%, even coming at 7. But because I'm looking for that bigger trade that's going to go all the way up with much more better profit potentials, I'm more likely to just try to see if price is going to hopefully, whether it goes up and stuff, but at least come back down, go all the way down and so on, come back to these areas and then start going upwards. Why? Because I want price to just come back here where it was the previous lowest, and then I'm more likely to put my stop loss here, take profit just below, and then my first take profit would be here at the same area, but now I'm looking at a 6%. But one thing that I like is I'm going all the way. This is where I'm going 11, and this is where I'm going 17%. You understand? So this is something that I'm looking into, I'm working on when US 30 actually does play out this way. But at the same time, there's different ways that it can play out. This is just one of the ways. Obviously, there's different ways that it can play out. So we will notice on how price actually continues to go upwards, or maybe just come back to retest or go all the way down. And as well, if you just look at it in a way of patterns, this is a pattern right here, and here is another close. Then you can see if I just remove something more like this, you can see this is also a pattern on which this reminds me of the trade that we got a week ago right here. You see price went up, it created this pattern, then it bursted out and then started shooting upwards. You understand? So it's more like that. You can see US 30 has a tendency of doing things like that. So hopefully, even if it just comes and plays around here, one of my first entries would be if price comes here, to retest where it broke out of. I might, depending on how it got there, I might maybe execute, get a trade here, stop loss just below somewhere here, and then go up. This is first take profit, mind you. It's still gonna go all the way up to those numbers. And remember, I did mention that with these. It's more on like, this is a reduced risk. I remember the previous video, if you didn't watch it, just go back onto the previous video and then watch on how I speak about reduced risk entry and as well risk entry, because with this is a risk entry, but this one here would be a bit more reduced risk entry. Because why? Because with this, it means that price can still break below here and then go all the way down. Like, we might still get experience a stop loss, but with this one here, there's a high chance that if it does take us out, it's done. We can't really look for re-entries and so on, because the market shouldn't have moved in that specific way. And then with this lower high here, one thing that I'm seeing is potentially price coming all the way up here, resistant, and then basically just forming the deeper pattern, more like this, and as well something more like this, something just more like this. Obviously I can't put this up, it's not yet done, but something more like this. And then maybe price just moving like going up, depends on how it's gonna move. And then boom, once it's here, then we get that inner pattern that can potentially happen from here. And then maybe we can even take a sell here, and then plays around and then go all the way down. Once it's here, then we take that buy. You understand? So even though we are looking for that buy all the way down, it doesn't mean that when price plays a part or plays in a way whereby we spot it or we understand what it does, we can't capitalize from it. We still should be able to capitalize from that exact same price. Okay, so now that is it for US30. You guys have seen, but one thing that I'll also make sure that I do is I'll update in the Telegram group. So if you are, let's say for instance, you'd like to see how I see it when it does form out, when it does play out and so on, I'll keep on updating this trade in the Telegram group. So make sure that you are in the very first link that is in description. Make sure that you're in the Telegram group. So let us now take a look at the next one, which is gold. Gold, we did say that USD is going down, meaning that we're looking for buys on gold in the longer run, not in the shorter run, in the longer run. So you can see this is the previous structures that we had here. So let me just clean this out a bit so our charts are much more clean. You shouldn't hold on to the things that happened the previous week and so on. It's nicer to just cut it out. So as I'm speaking, I'll be sharing with you guys some of the lessons that I've came across while trading. So yeah, it's much more wiser to pay attention to everything that I'm mentioning. Okay, so you can see how price is right here and right here, boom boom. So already with price played around here, previous resistance here, broke out. This was like higher high, higher low, higher high, and now we're seeing price come here giving us a higher low. So let me just go to the 60-minute, because one thing that I'm believing is price still has to go all the way up here. You can see previous resistance here, so price still has to touch here. So let me just come to the 60-minute. Okay, so on the 60-minute, super clean, it's vivid clear, can't really complain much. We can see price, obviously the previous week it was somewhere here on Friday, then it went all the way down, which is today. It went all the way down, started going down the whole morning, and then now this is where it was. But you can see the candle that pushed it up. This is an engulfing candle. Just take a look at this candle here. Nice engulfing candle. Then it pushed it upwards. Then now price is going all the way down. So with what I'm seeing, price is just gonna come down somewhere between these areas so that it retest and then it continues to go upwards. Just like the same way with the dollar index. We're saying that price is more likely to come high, and then it might even come somewhere here, because this is right here, previous support, can come here to retest and then start selling from here, type of a thing. So obviously we have to update and scan. Something about the markets, one thing that I love about the markets is that it evolves. You can't really plan a scenario and then expect it to still play out in the next week or in the next few days. You have to continuously keep on evolving. Just this gives you an idea of what's going on currently and what's more likely to happen in the next few days. But already with how the market is going to be moving, we'll be able to evolve and adapt, and as well we won't be confused. Because if you don't do pre-analysis like this, it means that when the market happens to play out in a specific way, you will be confused, because instead of looking for buys, you now be confused. You're looking for sells, and then you notice that, oh no, on the bigger time frame it was trying to buy and so on, you know, so we don't want to be confused like that. So what I'm doing is I'm just coming all the way down to the 15-minute. So I'm trying to see what patterns are being printed and stuff. Then we're going to go to as low as the 5-minute, just so we try to execute trades on it. So on the 15-minute, I can see that, okay, price went lower low here, lower high, lower low, and then boom, it broke that lower high right here. Same thing that we closely saw with US30. But US30, how we saw it was somewhere, let's say for instance with this pattern, just picture this pattern in your head. It was somewhere here, and then you see it went up to resistance. So now it went down, and as well here at the resistance, because as soon as it got to resistance, you can see somewhere here it presented or gave us a huge candlestick engulfing. So the market always gives you, like, you know, signals and so on. You don't really need signals and stuff. The market gives you that already. So you just have to take the message from the market. You need to learn how to take the message from the market, and that's what we do each and every single day when we are in the markets. We're trying to understand and take the message from it. So already with this, I can easily see that the market is more likely to come all the way down to here on this previous candle that started pushing the buyers up. And then once price gets here, that's when it will take in here. This is what I'm more likely to take, but I'll go on the 5-minute, but I'm more likely to take a setup like this, because why? It makes perfect sense. Stop loss maybe here, take profit still right here. Okay, 5.9, close to 6%. If I may just push it up nice, let's see, 5.93%. okay, but I take my trades on the 5-minute because I don't want to hold them for too long. So what that does is that it allows me to be able to get those finer entries. So instead of now looking at it, you see now what it done on the 15-minute, it also added these candlesticks here. So me on the 5-minute, it will allow me to just come and focus on the last candlestick before price started pushing upwards, which is this exact same one. So like this, what it does is that I'll be able to put my buy limit or my buy order somewhere here, my stop loss just below here, and my take profit right here. Just see what I'm gonna do to the take profit areas. It was 5.9%. Let's see what happened now. Boom, 7.4%. The exact same trade, the exact same method. Is just now refinery, like, you know, being able to dive a bit more deeper and focusing on what actually truly matters. So this is just one of the trades that I'm more likely to, you know, take without a doubt, even if it does go against us. Mind you, I did mention that whenever I say something, it doesn't mean that it's more likely to happen this way. It's just more about refining and being able to take a message from the market and then using that, because what can happen is price can maybe just boom and then maybe play a bit, and then you see it took us out, but it gave us like a young head and shoulder. And if you just put a line here, it's a breakout, then it means that now we have to re-enter. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be re-entering, and then I re-enter maybe somewhere here again, and then I'll go back up with it. Maybe I may have took one loss, but that one profit that's gonna go all the way up and hit, you know, my take profit areas, it's gonna give me 7.4%. Am I gonna be crying about one loss? Obviously I wouldn't. So that's just one of the ways that we look at the markets. But the best way for you to be updated and, you know, stay informed with all of this is to be in our Telegram group, on which I'll make sure that the very first link in our description is where you can get access. And I will see you on the next YouTube video. Make sure that you do like this video, and as well comment below, tell me what it is that you're seeing. And then the one thing that you can do in order to just help for these videos, I'm not charging you a single cent. The only thing that I would need from you is to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you believe that you are finding massive value from them. I'll see you on the next YouTube video.